now. Welcome you all again. We're truly to have our group come together again, and we've got really fun presentations and a new activity we're launching today, so we're thrilled to have you here. Just so you all know, Robin is going to be starting the recording, so we'll be recording this call. So just so everyone is aware that we are recording it, and we will, as usual, post it up on the Change Day BC YouTube site for you to see. So just to quickly introduce ourselves, I'm Colleen Kennedy. I'm the Director of Innovation and Engagement with the BC Patient Safety and Quality Council, and we're really thrilled to be joining you today for today's call. I'm going to hand it over to Robin to introduce herself and take some things forward.
Hi, everyone. I'm Robin Speedy. I'm Leader of Innovation and Engagement at the BC Patient Safety and Quality Council. Probably getting used to hearing our voices and seeing our faces by now. So it's good to see everyone on our monthly call. Just before we start, I'm going to quickly mute everybody so that we don't have the background noise while we're talking. But if you have a question at any point, you can just unmute yourself using the little microphone button next to your name, or you can also use the little hand to raise your hand if you have a question, and we'll make sure to unmute you. Okay, so on the call today, we are going to give a brief update of where things are with Change Day, and also have some really great sharing from a couple of our ambassadors to just tell the rest of us what they've been doing to help promote Change Day and how that's going. And I know last call we had some good discussion on that, so it's always fun. I think we'd really like to showcase some of these activities on each of our calls moving forward, because it's really what this is all about anyway, and it's so nice to hear from you about what's working and what's not, and I think it's a great idea, a great way to share ideas. So we'll be doing a little bit of that. And then Colleen is going to talk a bit about our Change Quest game, which we have alluded to already, and I think you received some instructions by email ahead of the call. So we'll go through that in a little bit more detail, but we're ready to launch that today. And then we'll just quickly touch on when our next meeting is. This infographic, I think, is a little bit older now because we're now at 452 pledges, but just wanted to bring everyone into the loop on things we've been going with the campaign. So we now have 130 change ambassadors. We have 30 partner organizations, and they just keep coming. So you can always see who our partner organizations are on the Change Day website under partners, and it's a great way if you have contacts within those organizations, you can connect on Change Day, and they've officially signed on to help with this campaign. So that's a resource that's also available to you. Almost 200 Twitter followers, and we've made 100,000 impressions on Twitter, so getting some views on YouTube and on our web pages as well. So I think it's really good to see it's kind of heavy, and the campaign seems to be growing for sure, and we're looking forward to reaching our 500 pledge mark. Hopefully that will happen in the next couple of days. Also wanted to touch on some of the education sessions that we've told you about. So these have now been scheduled, and the registration details were sent out in our last newsletter, and we'll send them again next week. But if you need the registration link and you can't find it, just get in touch with myself or Colleen, or you can email changeday@bcpsqc.ca, and we'll send that over to you. So June 2nd will be in Kelowna, June 3rd will be in Vancouver, and June 10th will be in Victoria. So there's a low cost for this to attend, it's $50, and that's just to help cover some of the expenses to hold the event. But basically what we'll be coming at these days is looking at how to use framing and storytelling and public narrative approaches to build alliances, building on some of the principles of social movements and community organizing, recognizing the importance of thought diversity, looking at 5 stages of change, how to analyze resistance to change and inform strategies to address that. Also looking at some of the digital and social media tools that can support change processes. So these are really a crash course in being an organizational change agent, which I know many of you already are. But if you're looking to have a bit more context around that work and some more tools that you can have in your back pocket to help you, these might be a great opportunity for you. So let us know if you have any questions about that. I'm just wondering if maybe I should unmute the line before we proceed to see if there are questions. So I'll do that. Did anyone have questions or anything with regard to the education sessions that are coming up? Clear? wanted to touch on was just our Facebook ambassador group. So we've got over 20 members in this group now, and I've been noticing a lot more activity in terms of people sharing what they're doing and talking with each other on there, so that's great. So if you happen to already join this, it's another way to connect with some of the other Change Day ambassadors out there. In terms of people on the WebEx, a check mark if you've already joined this group and an X if you haven't. Okay. So I know we've got a lot of people that are just joining by phone, so you can use the WebEx tools. But just a reminder on that it's available for you, and we post a lot of the resources that come up from time to time on that group, so it's a nice way to connect with each other. So I think I'll hand it over to you.
If you don't mind just moving me to presenter status, then I won't get muted when you mute the lines again. And we're just delighted to actually have a whole bunch of ambassadors joining us today to share some of the work that's been happening. We've really seen an interesting progression with Change Day in the last while, and I was just providing an update that just we actually got a flurry of extra pledges. So we got up to 499 pledges for Change Day as of right now. Loaded it on my iPad. So if anyone on the call hasn't made their pledge yet and wants to be pledge number 500, now's your chance to get in there and get it done. So we're excited. We're just really seeing the momentum take off, and I think that momentum is with many thanks to all of you on the call today. It's wonderful to have a chance to kind of profile and hear about some of the work that's happening. We're with Liz Lamb and kind of share some of the work that she's been doing with Impact BC. Is creative. I'm truly delighted to have the opportunity to introduce Liz, a Change Day ambassador who's been active with Change Day BC since the very beginning. The art seen up on the screen right now, for those of you who are on the WebEx, are all some of Liz's amazing doodles that she creates. Liz really neat work around Change Day, and so I'm really excited to hear more about it today. But she challenged all members of her organization to make a pledge for Change Day BC. With 100% success and 30 pledges later, we're looking forward to hearing more about Liz's approach and how she engaged her partners within the organization. So those of you who might want to connect with Liz, after the call, certainly you can connect with her on Facebook. She's been an active member of our Facebook group for Change Day, and she's also on Twitter as ICIQ or QI. So please join me in welcoming Liz. I'm going to hand it over to you, Liz, now.
Can you hear me, first of all? Good, I'm glad you can hear me. Sorry, I'm a bit croaky. I just wanted to take you through the 8 ways that we've been getting pledges for Change Day BC since we started in February. And I'll just run my little doodles there. We passed the message on. I'm going to start in the bottom right. We made a presentation to our staff, the staff meeting. A big presentation, used all your tools and videos and things like that, and really gave everybody an idea of what it is and what they can do to contribute. And my pledge that I'd made, which one of them was to start social media and really get these things connected and get them going. So we presented at the Change Day, at our staff meeting, and we did our pledges. We created a change stand in the office. It was just a board. We got all the postcards and we got people to write them down and post them up, just to have something that when anyone came in our office, they could see what we did. And to be honest, it was a little bit of a name and shame board as well. So we could see if people hadn't pledged and what other people's pledges were. The main thing we've done is actually share our pledges. So those who had signed on, we kept reiterating why we had pledged, what our pledge was, what it meant to us, and what we hoped to achieve by pledging. So that was really kind of speaking from the heart to try and get that going. What we did was actually create some competition. So as we realized that people were kind of flagging a little bit, we went onto the website and we were trying to get our organisation up in the province for the number of pledges. We actually got to 3rd place. We were in 5th place, and I did a big, come on guys, we really need to get there. We've only got one chance. We're a small organisation, and so pleased we got to number 3 in the province for pledges. And glad that we're being overtaken now, I have to say that. The other huge piece has been using social media. So as a pledge was really to get myself connected and connect with people who felt the same way as me, not only about Change Day, but about quality improvement, improving health and care. Yes, as I said, I've really kind of taken off on Twitter, and I found it so valuable. I'm connecting with people in the UK, in Australia, California, and it's been great just knowing that you're not the only one out there and you have all this support. The other thing we've asked people to do, a lot of our, in Impact BC, we have engagement liaisons, and they're often hosting health fairs and events and in the literature and things, and they've been spreading the word at those health events. So that's been really positive. Any opportunity to really kind of spread the word. Another thing, as Colleen said, is join a group, using that Facebook group, and following on Twitter has been really helpful just to see, you know, we're not the only ones. This is going on so many places across the world. And for many, it's not their first year doing this, so it's been really good to feel like you're part of this huge community. And then the way that we've tried is really the email that goes out. We've put our link on there for Change Day. Impact BC, we've got it right up there on the website, so that if people come to the website, they can make a pledge directly from there. So ways that have been kind of tried and tested for us, and they've really worked. And what I'm after now, and I've been tweeting like mad on this, is my kind of online community up to the next stage. So how do we kind of really get this going? And I'll just give you some of the responses that we've had. Speak from heart and be brave and talk about this. Go home. Really put it there. Get the message out in as many ways as you can has been a big one. Multiple channels, tweet like crazy, and see any opportunities. And it all speaks to this, you know, let's just keep on talking about Change Day and what it means to us and what we hope to get. So I hope that gives you some tips on what you can. Thanks.
Thank you, Liz. I think that was great. Is any questions or anything to add to all of this? I know you've given us a lot to think about, but any ideas or thoughts around what Liz has shared? I'll now again as well.
I apologize. I was muted and talking to you all after Liz's presentation. You missed that. I wanted to share one little tidbit about Liz, and that's I met Liz about last fall, so fall 2014. And during the meeting, Liz sent me an email that she was committing to get on Twitter. She was going to get on Twitter and start actively using Twitter. And to say that Liz has embraced that would be an understatement. I think the stories she shared today, the connections she's made, her ability to kind of share her work and grow momentum using social media has been really cool to watch. So I really wanted to acknowledge how far you've come in a very short time, Liz. It's pretty dazzling.
Thank you.
Belinda Boyd from Vancouver Coastal Health Community Engagement. Hi, Liz. It was exciting to hear what you guys have done, and I'm wondering, given the connection you have to the patients as part of Patient Voices Network, if there's a discussion around extending the Change Day pledging to the Patient Voices Network members.
Just mentioned that, Belinda. That was one of the let's go the next stage. So what's been happening is, as liaisons have been out, they have been asking, they have been promoting Change Day, and what's difficult for us right now is to know if it's a result of our work that the patients have pledged. But no, for definite, one of us pledged as a result of us going out there. Yeah.
Is there a way that they're being, or can you track them? Like when you're saying you don't know for sure, but is there a way that they can link through, like website, if you've got the link, and being able to track how many Patient Voices Network members are pledging?
What the site can do, would that be helpful? Just so you, Liz just sent a message quickly that she got disconnected, so she'll call back in. So just so I can answer that a little bit, is from the website right now, if folks were pledging from patients as partners, if they put that down as their organization, we would be able to track them. We'd be able to track a little bit their entry point, but we wouldn't know for sure where they were coming from as an organization. But in the logistics of the site itself, that is possible. Liz, on now? No, please. Go ahead.
Next question.
You missed the question?
I asked Belinda's question, gave the response, and then I pressed the wrong button and disconnected myself.
Go ahead. She asked a question on tracking, and so I just shared with her, Liz, that it was possible if they did enter patients as partners, at least as their organization, we would see them through that avenue at least.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Thanks.
Well, so thanks. Questions for Liz? Okay.
Bill Faulkner here. There's not a question direct to you, Liz, but it's a comment on a question that just rose a few moments ago. And great work, Liz, getting that going. I'm from Fraser Health, Carol Faulkner, and I'm actually going to just mention something on behalf of Polly Caineth, who's got a first gate with initiating this at Fraser. She's a social worker in the acquired brain injury program. Anyway, and they used pledges during social work week, but she also, when they were finding that clients were waiting for treatment, she started to get staff to encourage them, and I know she has over 20 pledges from clients, and she's going to be sending them all in written form, but apparently the clients loved the idea of being able to participate in this.
Fantastic. Yeah, really great.
So
I find, even sorry, go on.
Look.
The most important thing is that direct face-to-face talk, sharing directly what Change Day is about. I found reminders by email just weren't as effective in knocking on somebody's door and talking to them.
Yes.
That's the interesting thing. Pat Owen, it's actually her birthday today, so she's not on our call. She's one of our patient representatives who's promoting Change ABC, and she's just really having those conversations and connecting with patients herself, which is really lovely because it's coming from patient to patient, which is really nice to have that happening as well. Any questions or comments for Liz before we move on? I'm going to hand it now over to Val Chance. Now, it's with pleasure to introduce Val Chance today. She's from Interior Community Services here in Kamloops, and the picture here is one of a few parallels sent our way this week as she starts to promote Change ABC, both within her own organization, but also within her networks and connections that she has across the province and in the work that she does. She's been an active promoter in ABC since started, and we're so thrilled to have her presenting today and kind of she's been doing. And passing the torch to Val, though, I just wanted to celebrate Val's bold move this week. So Val has been not on Facebook until recently, and she's joined Facebook thanks to Change ABC as a way to connect with others who are doing this work. So kudos, Val, for jumping off that cliff or joining that group. We're really delighted to have you, and I'll pass it over to you now to share some of the work you've been doing, Val.
Can everyone hear me?
You bet.
Colleen's my techie friend, so she gets me connected in the ways I need to be. So just a little bit of background, I work for a social care organization in Kamloops, and we provide support to children, families, youth involved with the Ministry for Children and Family Development and a variety of other capacities. But so our Change Day, that's a picture of me and a colleague, and we presented it yesterday, so that's why there's only one pledge, and that's mine, because my pledge is to get everyone in the organization involved. And because we are a social care organization, I do agree that most people want the face-to-face presentation. So yesterday there was a lot of great energy, because we really look at this as part of we have a wellness plan. This is a part, really an engagement mechanism for teams to take on. So we've got a friendly competition definitely going within. We're looking for teams to make a team pledge plus an individual one, and then hopefully to get clients involved as well. But from what people know already, there's a lot of uptake, and we're going to link it to our website. We have sites all over the region in a variety of capacities, residential programs and things. So we link a lot online, so we'll do a lot of online promotional as well. We're just starting, but there was huge uptake, and people are really excited about it. They'll use it as staff development to get people reached. And we have a lot of creative ideas around how to display them. I think there'll be, as time goes on, I'll get some photos uploaded to the Change ABC website. And from a community perspective, because part of my role is community development with an early childhood initiative. So we've actually presented the other day to, there was about 10 organizations in Kamloops there, including Interior Health, Public Health, and the other early intervention services. So, what it's sort of spreading the energy, but certainly I must admit, the swag has been very, very well received. It's great to have the posters, and lanyards apparently in my organization are super popular because I had to order more, and I didn't think that would be big, but people have really embraced taking the postcards, taking the posters. I already see some of them in some of the programs, and then my goal, of course, is to really just keep promoting it and getting people pledging and making sure that the pledges are uploaded. And one of our goals we talked about, because at the time, yesterday when I was in my meeting, we went through the video and I showed the website, and Kamloops had 22 pledges. And I see your next speakers from Kamloops too, so maybe we can connect well, but I'm like, we got to get Kamloops up there. We don't have to be Kelowna, because that's sort of, the internal, the city competition, friendly competition, but it's a great engagement tool, really. And again, we hope that our staff will also get clients involved, because really our organization is around change, so hopefully the client on board too. I had to put an X, I must admit it, because I'm new to Facebook, so I'm not, but I will be. And they may convince me to join Twitter, but a little bit far from that yet.
Liz and I work on you, hey Liz?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just a side note, I see on the Change Day website right now that the top 10 locations, Kelowna has 23 and Kamloops has 22. Val.
I know.
Thanks, guys.
We're at a tipping point.
Kamloops are a healthy competition.
I think that's it. I love the friendly competition you're suggesting there, Val. It's really great how you're doing this work to promote with your organization as well as beyond and with clients. I'm really excited to hear sort of where that goes. It looks like we've got someone else who just joined the Facebook group too. Wonderful, Kelly. Welcome. So does anyone have any questions for Val before we hand it over? Thanks so much, Val.
Thanks.
Yep. This is Hamilton. I'm a Slovac, and I also work for Fraser Health. Did you have a presentation? Did you have I suppose, video or something that you plug into the computer and it shows on the screen, something to go along with your talk? Did you use that?
Use the Tuesday video on the website, so I actually showed the whole website and the video, because the video sort of speaks for itself.
Just go to the website and then upload and show it on whatever PowerPoint something or other that I can do.
Just show it.
So we also have a canned presentation for you there, John, that you can use. If it's easier, we can also send them to you. It's a bit large. It's probably easiest to download it. So it is available for there. Or give me a shout. We can walk you through it.
Okay, that would be great. I'm not technically adept, but I am sometimes a quick study.
It's a convenient time, John. It's Colleen, and I can give you a call. It'd be nice to connect with you again anyway.
Sure. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Any other questions for Val, folks? All right. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate you joining us, Val. So Val will be joining our Facebook group shortly. She's now on Facebook, so I'll be able to connect with any questions. No pressure, Val. I'm going to hand it over now to our next presenter, and this is last but not least. I'm really thrilled to introduce Ranj Woods. Ranj is also from Kamloops here today, and she's a community volunteer, which means that Ranj is 100% volunteering her leisure time to promote Change Day BC in our community, and I think that's a really cool and a neat example of it. So she's been actively promoting Change Day BC within our local community here in Kamloops, particularly tongue-tied today, everyone, particularly with our First Nations communities. So I'm excited to hand it over to Ranj, and she is on Facebook for those of you who want to connect with her. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. So I just got excited and involved with Change Day BC because I happened to be talking to Colleen and sounded awesome.
And sorry, we can't quite hear you very well. Can you maybe hold your phone just a little bit closer to your mouth?
Sure. Is that better?
Oh, much better. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Like I was saying, I got involved with Change Day BC just talking to Colleen, and it sounded like a great event to be a part of. And as a social worker with the community, I've lived in Kamloops for 25 years and see the value in this movement. So, and my previous employment was in the First Nations community, so what better way than to involve people you already know. So basically I've been getting information myself on the movement and read up on it, and like the webpage is a great resource. A bunch of swag for myself to hand out as I'm talking to people. So, yeah, I've been just making appointments with my old and going in and talking about it to supervisors, team leads, and giving them the information so they know about it, and then get invited to their team meetings to speak to staff. So building the momentum right now.
Fantastic, Ranj. I'd be curious to know, how have you made those connections? Have it just been cold? How have you kind of reached across that, gap to go from an organization that hasn't heard about Change Day to one that has?
Okay, good question. Because I'm volunteering, have some leisure time, like you said, I just kind of sometimes go in and say hi to old colleagues and, hey, what are you doing? Funny you ask. This is what I'm doing. And I follow it up with an email with the links to the website and the slideshow talking about Change Day BC. So quite excited about it. And I mean, who wouldn't want those kind of positive changes in their organization, right?
Agreed. Thank you, Ranj. Are there any questions for Ranj on the call today?
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Someone have a question?
I was just going to say, it's a really great start to start with the people that I know, and then get it from there, so that's great.
Wonderful. That's a great segue. What we know is that our strong ties, so those connections that we already have are a great place to start, and often those folks can then connect with other folks and extend the reach. So if you really need, if we could look at it as a network map to see how these connections start to happen, but it's just wonderful that you're leveraging that and seizing that opportunity. I really want to thank all of you, so Liz, Val, and Ranj, for taking the time to share what you've been doing around Change Day. I know for me, it really inspires me and helps explore the possibilities of what else we can do around Change Day. And really, we know that Change Day is really all about all of you, that the success of Change Day is thanks to your time and your energy promoting Change Day. And just really want to thank all of you on the call today for taking the time to be part of this movement.
Well, Colleen.
Oh, please.
The support back from you guys, so that's fantastic.
Great. So, are people on call ready for some fun?
Yeah.
So, really excited to be trying something out. We found out an app called Goose Chase, where we could create a mission called Change Quest that we could use to kind of have a bit of fun around Change Day BC. And we thought, what the heck, let's give this a try and see what we can do. So we thought we could have a bit of friendly competition among all of us around Change Day and try this out. So for those of you who have, I just want to get a sense of those on the call today, how many of you are on a team or have had a member of your team actually install the Goose Chase app for our Quest game on your phone or device? So maybe take a check mark. You've actually already installed it and you're good to go. And an X if you haven't had a chance yet. Check marks, that's good to see. We've got a few folks who haven't had a time to install it yet. So there's still a few minutes if you want to start the competition once we get going. I actually opened the game a few minutes ago. I was originally not going to open it until a little bit later, but I see some people have already been active. But I'll give you a quick introduction first. So just a few things. I noticed a question from Tracy. For those of you who don't have a smartphone or an iPhone, if there's anyone on your team, you only need a single device that is a smart or iPhone to actually participate in this event. Now, if you don't know anyone on your team, nobody has a smartphone, so it needs an Android or iPhone device, just know, and what we can do, just send us an email after the call or send a little note in the chat box today, and we can send you the list of missions as a PDF via your email. And we do set you up an account and help manage that for you. So if you want to participate and you don't have access, just send us a quick email and we'll get you set up. For those of you who do have it installed, thank you so much for doing that. And for those who don't, you can just take a couple minutes if you like and just install the app on your device. It is available free as an app for devices, so head online if you'd like. One person on your team to actually set up an account to get this up and running. And the team can share access to that shared account. So questions, we're going to stay on the line today after the call if you need a little bit of technical support to get you up and running. So we'll be there for you. We can go from there. So what is this app all about? Why are we doing this? So basically we created a game called Change Quest. And we thought we could do this for a few reasons. We thought it was really fun to actually have a way for us to have some friendly competition. We thought it was a way of giving ideas and providing ideas and suggestions for things that we can do to promote Change Day in each of our communities. The other thing is we're always trying to get more photographs. So photographs that we can use to promote Change Day BC on Twitter, on Facebook, on various social media that we're using right now for Change Day BC. And the really neat thing is this will help us capture those photos. So we thought it was a neat thing to give it a try. What is involved is once you've got the app installed on your iPhone device, you actually can just go in the top right-hand corner of the app and search. There's a little search icon, and search for the Change Quest game. Once you Change Quest game, and I know a lot of you have already done that, you'll be able to go into the game, and there's a whole list of missions. It has a list of photo-based missions, and as you complete them, you basically take a photograph and submit that as your evidence that you've done that mission. Doing the mission, it'll automatically accrue your points and track how you're doing. Also, I wanted to give you one little tip. As you'll notice on the screen I've got up right now in the mission list, I should have done a screen capture for you too. It looks a little bit different in the app itself. But some of the missions have an associated website link to it. So if you get that mission, it'll allow you to actually, the mission that says extra information, or if you notice online app, just below the picture, there is a little icon. If you click on that, it'll include the link that's included for that particular mission. So in some cases, our missions direct you to our website to go to someone else's pledge, join someone's pledge, like a pledge, create a pledge if you haven't already done so. So just watch for those links that are you to have a link to that website. A lot of information so far. Does anyone have any questions before we proceed? What's fun happening somewhere? Keep going here. So here, you actually can see the really neat thing about the Change Quest is we start doing it. We've got an activity feed. You'll be able to see what people are doing. There's a leaderboard that will actually show you the different teams that are participating and what place they're in. And there's also an opportunity to share photos. So we'll be downloading photos and posting them on social media, etc. So the big thing on this is really wanted to emphasize the importance of consent. And we got an email today with the instructions for installing Change Quest. And we also included our social media document so that if you get consent from anyone who you think you're going to take a picture of and submit using Change Quest, if you could please, you do get consent and get sign off. And the reason is we're going to be using these photos both within the app itself, but also on our different social media channels. So if you could be sure if there's anyone other than yourself on the picture, we'd love consent from you, but also anyone else who you take a picture of. I'm just going to actually share my desktop now, so bear with me for a second. For those of you who are on the call, I'm going to open up the Goose Chase app and share my desktop with you so you can see a little bit of what's going on there. We're going to do a practice mission shortly. I notice there's a few eager beavers on the line who've already done the practice mission, which is wonderful, so kudos to you. So can anyone see my desktop now? Who should clarify that? Wonderful. All right, so if you're in the app itself, it's really, you can actually click on the activity feed. For those of you who, from within the app itself, it actually just says feed. And that will show you any activity that's happened. So you can see, look at this. The I2S quality team is off and running. So what you'll see is you'll be able to see what teams are doing for Change Quest. So after they complete the mission, they'll submit photographs for each of those missions as proof that they've been completed. So right now you can see what the teams have already done. Our first practice mission is to take a photograph of yourself and or your team participating in the call today. So I'm just going to choose right now. So out of myself earlier, you can see it kind of cut off, so you just see my head. We've got Peggy Scott on there, so welcome Peggy. It's great to see you join the Change Quest. I see the H-West team is on there as well. There's Julie Wooten and Dimple Prakash. We've got Cindy and Jennifer Stita online. That's great. I have Delta View. That's great. I see Jane in that call, and I don't know, or in that photo, so it's great to see you, Jane. So like teams are already off and running. So the really neat thing about this app, you actually can see this activity feed as the game continues and as teams do their work. We'll have the opportunity to see the leaderboard, to see how the teams are doing and what position they are in terms of doing the different activities. This is meant to be fun and friendly competition, so just have some fun, and we're going to have some surprises along the way as we do this. Last, we have the option of seeing photographs as well. So you have the option of actually seeing what photos have been submitted and what's happening. So you can see some photos by missions, and you can see the photos by just users and points. So you can get a sense of that have been submitted. So if you're really keen, you can actually see all this within the app on your handheld device as well. Of the app from this end of things, I'm going to walk you through the practice mission for those who haven't done it yet, and we'll go from there. Just before we do the practice, does anyone have any questions?
Muted all the lines.
All right, the lines are unmuted. Are there any questions, anyone?
You mean you can't? I just see a question from I'm using the smartphone, so can't access the app. Which phone are you using?
I've got my phone here, but I'm using it for the teleconference.
Oh, yeah. You have to wait till after the call.
Yeah.
Disadvantage. Any questions from anyone? Okay, all right, everyone. We'll get going here. So, your practice mission. So I've started the game, so you can go ahead on in and do the practice mission. So for those of you who haven't done it yet, when you go to Goose Chase, you can see the list of missions. And the very first mission that should be appear at the top is called practice mission. It asks you to take a selfie of you or your group on this call and submit it as evidence of completing this mission. So people just take a couple minutes, and those of you who have the app on the phone, go into that mission, and then from within the app itself, you can choose take photo. And you'll submit that and then once it's done, you can submit your photo. So I'm going to bring up the leaderboard again so we can see people starting to do this. So basically what it does is for every one of the missions we're doing through this, we're going to actually be doing this practice, and we'll be seeing these results, sharing the results as we move forward. The other things, just to let you know, if you're going to take a picture of anyone, if verbal consent or written consent, both is fine. Our preference would be to actually move forward with written consent. You can just get a sign off. We sent you a document. Because we will be sharing these broadly, we just want to ensure that we have consent from folks who are in the picture. So if you could just make sure you do that as you're doing this work. For my desktop again. And I'm going to pull up the app so we can see it from there. I noticed we had a question on the line just while I was doing that, and that was a question around has anyone tried to install the app on an iPad? I have done that before.
Oh.
Anyone else?
On the top of my head.
Anyone tried to install Goose Chase on an iPad? Does anyone know done that yet?
I tried to download it onto my iPad, but I think it's for iPhones only.
All right, that's good to know. Thank you for sharing that. Limitation. I will give it a try tonight as well to test it out. All right, folks, you can see the photos starting to stream in here. We've got folks. Oh, Robin Speedy, we got the top of her head. They have got theirs on there with a picture of Marlene from Northern Health is included in their photo.
Work for the photos then, Colleen, because I noticed the photo was complete when you upload, but you only see a portion of it in the feed. So you have to go to the photo section to see the whole photo?
Thank you very much for asking that, Robin. Yeah, so right now it just feeds up a portion of it, but if you go to photo section, you see more of the photo, and we'll just group it right now by users. And you can actually download the photo so we get a proper version of it. Because it actually controls the size of the picture, it skews it a little bit in the version online. I've pulled up the full photo version so you can see the full version there. Back to the activity feed right now. I'm just going to pull this up so we see the photos are still coming in from folks, so thank you very much. And I'm just going to pull it up now so folks can see the leaderboard. So within the app and online, you can actually see as people are participating in the quest, how they're doing and where their points are going.
West is first place, we're second. Oh, awesome.
All right, we got some people on the line. Maybe we could just modify it, or someone wants anything. I'd love to. It sounds like you're having lots of fun there.
Mute everyone again, Colleen.
Just ask some questions to the group. So, anyone have any questions or thought about the Goose Chase just before we move forward?
They're focused on entering their mission.
We're doing well. So far it looks like, just so we can give an update, we got it neck and neck with the Act West Quality Team and Vernon Change Day Team with 1,500 points each. We got a number of folks in the place, tied for third with 100 points, and so we'll see this as it progresses. As we wrap up today, I just wanted to share that we have a long list of missions. As this work continues, if you think of a mission that isn't in the Goose Chase or in our Change Quest that you would like to have added, please send our way. We would be delighted to add new missions to keep this active. Our Change Quest is going to be running from today until the 26th of June, which is, I think, the Friday of June. Close at 11:59 at night that day. So once anything you do up to that date will be included in points, but then the app itself will shut things down. Okay, I'm going to go back to the main presentation now, and we'll go from there. Are there any questions before we finish up today? Has any Goose Chase missions, they can send them our way, or if you could enter them in the chat box right now, we'll make sure we catch them. As before, if we don't have any options, any options in terms of an iPhone and Android device, just send us an email and we can make sure we set you up and get you the list of missions via paper, and we'll send it your way. Anything else you want to add, Robin, before up today?
Just seeing a couple people might be having trouble with downloading it. I'm not sure the device that you were on, but there was a question about Android. So I have an iPhone. Peggy, I see that you were able to load it on your Android. I'm wondering if, so Kelly said my team members can't get it on Android suggestions, and Peggy, you've said that you've got it. I wonder if two of you might be able to connect just to go through where to find it. There is that little logo. It's kind of an orange square box with little goose feet on it. If you're not able to find it, but I think for me, I went in, I just searched Goose Chase, one word, and then I was able to download it. And once I had it on my phone, it prompted to create a login right away once I did that.
Also, just to add to that, we are going to stay on the line. We're going to wrap up the call a little bit early today because we wanted to make sure we were available to provide technical support for any folks that need some assistance. If you'd like to stay on the line, Peggy, if you don't mind staying on the line, if you're an Android user, you can maybe help us out for all this iPhone folks on this end of the line. If you didn't mind staying, that would be great. And anyone who's having challenges or has any questions can just stay on the line. Otherwise, we're going to wrap up today's call. We will, just so you know, we will be sending out a newsletter following today's call with an update of all the information we shared today. We'll also be sending you out regular updates on status and how we're doing around the Change Quest as it continues to move forward. Please don't forget to send us your new ideas for different events that we can do and different missions we can have throughout the quest. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a great month. We'll talk to you in June. Just a reminder that our June meeting is going to be on the Thursday instead of the Wednesday next month, just because there was a conflict with one of our education sessions for all. Thank you.
So it's June 11th.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. On the line, we'll just give it a second for people to dial off and then troubleshoot with you.
502 on change. Yeah.
It's Kelly Helland. Hello. Hi. My team members have to go, so we're just going to keep working on it and see if we can figure it out.
Check out the Google Play Store. That's all I did. And
yeah, I think one of my colleagues tried that and she couldn't get it, but
okay.
She just got to the screen, so it's just too full, so I've got to empty stuff. We've got problems. Thank you so much for your help, and we'll figure it out.
You don't, and we can always create it for you on our end too.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Still need support?
Boy from Vancouver Coastal Health.
Hi, Belinda.
Well, my colleague Allison and I don't know if Allison, if you're still on the line, but between us have an iPhone or an Android, so we're going to be one of those that needs the, I guess, the PDFs that you referred to. And I just wanted to clarify a little bit more about how that would work. So we receive those, and then what?
Well, I think we've got about 4 teams that are going to be participating in that, Linda. So what we'll do is we'll email you the list of missions, and also include with that instructions on what to do. But basically, they're photo-based missions. So what we will do is we'll create a user ID and account on behalf of your team on Goose Chase, and what we'll do is get you to submit the photos to us, and we'll upload them for you.
Okay.
You will be able to access your results. I believe you can. But a user account's a little bit different, but you should be able to see your status virtually, but we'll be able to promote that way and share it with you via email as well. So there's a workaround we've got for those folks who don't have access.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. So I'll send it to you.
If you can send Allison, so Allison Muniak and Belinda Boyd, that would be great.
Great.
Excellent. Thank you. And that's really what my question was. So I won't take any more of your time.
Oh, no, we're happy. That's what we're here for. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, we're excited and looking forward to this. We have a large network as well of patient advisors. So when I asked Liz that question, that was what I was interested to see how she'd engaged her patient advisors. So I'm really looking forward to creating communications and promotions to that group of individuals as well. So.
And as you progress around that, Belinda, we'd love to hear how it's going. You know, it's a great opportunity to bring your learnings back as well and share with others.
Sure. No, we'd be happy. We have some mechanisms that we use to connect on a regular basis with that network, and so we'll be utilizing those mechanisms and hopefully finding a way to create some competition as well and track them and capture some photos from that network in their pledging. So yeah, we're looking forward to coming up with some ideas as how we can make that work. So.
Fantastic.
Thanks. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Who could use some support?
Colleen, it's Karen Gooder here from Ireland Health.
Hi, Karen. You
Okay, I've set up a account under my own name, and so did my colleague. Is there any way that we can combine those accounts?
Not a way to combine them, I think, once they're done. But if you just pick one of your IDs, for example, and if you're okay with sharing them with each other, you can participate as a team, or you could participate individually. Or alternatively, what you could do is keep your individual account if you want to keep them protected, and just create a new generic one that you can use for this event.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Colleen. And good luck.
Good luck on with it. I look forward to seeing your photos. Thanks.
Will do. Thanks. Bye.
Hi, it's the other Karen. I typed this in the comments as well. I'm sorry, I was trying to track all the different ways of creating accounts, and I got a bit lost. So I can't create an account on my iPad. I can download the app, but let me create an account.
Okay.
So how do I create an account that all of, like, my team access it on the web then?
So what is, if you have a single account, your team would access it from within each of their hand devices of them, or they can send the photograph to you to submit that way. So doing it as a team, you just need a single user ID and login to be able to do that.
Okay. It doesn't work on the iPad. I'm out of luck. Is that understand that correctly?
On the iPad, what we can do is set you up like we're doing the other folks. And I can test that tonight just to make sure, Karen. But what we can do is send you the PDF of the missions and have us set up an account on your behalf.
There too, Colleen, I'm just thinking if you're not able to set up your account yourself on the iPad, but you're able to download the app and see it, we might be able to set up for you, and you would be able to use it. So you wouldn't have to send us all of your pictures for all of the completed missions in a way, but we might just be able to get you into the system, and then you'd be able to access it, if that makes sense.
That's what I was thinking, because I have the app.
Yeah.
It's great. It just, every time I try to create an account, it says, sorry, no connection.
Because we try that as a first step.
So is there our email address you want to use for your account, Karen?
I'd probably just use my business one if I'm going to share it with my team. So it's the karen.bowen@interiorhealth.ca.
Oh, it's Karen Bowen. Okay.
Yeah.
That was Lecomte, and I never knew that one. It's your...
I'm just Karen. Plain old Karen.
Another Karen on the line. That's hilarious. Okay, so this is Karen Bowen. I thought it was your voice. It was so funny because I'm like, it sure sounds like Karen Bowen. Wonderful. We can send that your way, Karen, and but
Sure.
we'll also test that out. I'll let you know. We'll be talking anyway later this week, I think. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll tonight, and I'll be able to give you an answer tomorrow.
No, guys, great presentation. Have a awesome day.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Third Karen who needs some help?
I'm not sure you can help me, Jeff.
Try, Jeff. I'm worried that was about as clear as mud.
They'll try it, they'll download it, and if it doesn't work, they'll call us.
I think if people didn't have a chance to look at the instruction document before the call,
yeah,
it's more challenging. I sent it out a week ago, and then it was in the appointment as well, and then we sent it out before the meeting, but I had some serious technical issues.